Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Cream Bites. Today I'll be sharing with you all a most popular recipe that will definitely make your mouth water. Recently I happened to watch this Malayalam movie Sajan Bakery, which inspired me to make this video. So today's recipe is cream buns. Variations of cream buns exist all around the world and they are either baked or fried. Just like the name says, these are soft buns filled with smooth buttercream or whipped cream. So in today's video, I'll be making the fried version of the buns, which is almost similar to donuts and is very popular in Kerala. So let's quickly take a look at the ingredients. At first, we are going to make the dough for the buns. For this, you need milk, about half to 3/4 cup, all-purpose flour 2 cups, sugar 2 tablespoons, milk powder, which is optional, 1 tablespoon, instant dry yeast 1.5 teaspoons, nutmeg powder, which is again optional, a pinch, butter 2 tablespoons, and salt a pinch. To a large bowl, add about half cup of warm milk. Do not add the 3/4 cup of milk all at once, just add half cup of warm milk and 1.5 teaspoons of instant dry yeast and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Give it a good mix and set aside for 5 minutes so that the yeast gets activated. So after 5 minutes, to the yeast mixture add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of milk powder, which is optional but adding it makes it more rich, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter melted, a pinch of salt, but if you're using salted butter, omit the salt, and adding a pinch of nutmeg powder. This is optional, but adding it, it just adds a flavor to the buns. You can use a pinch of cardamom powder instead, so choose accordingly to your taste. Now we are going to knead this into a very soft and smooth dough. So add the remaining 1/4 cup of warm milk as and when needed until you get a soft and smooth dough. So just add the milk as needed. Make sure it's warm and just knead it into a soft dough. See, now the dough is kneaded well. Apply some oil over the dough and inside the bowl, and now we are going to set this dough aside covered and let it rest for 1 or 2 hours or until doubled in size. Meanwhile, let's prepare the buttercream, which is needed for filling the buns. So for this you need icing sugar 2 cups, unsalted butter 90 to 100 grams, milk 1 or 2 teaspoons or as needed, vanilla extract 1 teaspoon. Now take a bowl and add 100 grams of softened unsalted butter and add 1 cup of icing sugar at first and beat the butter and the icing sugar until it turns creamy. Since I already have half batch of the buttercream, I'm just making only half of it now, hence the quantity is less as you see in this video. But when you make, just add 100 grams of unsalted butter and 2 cups of icing sugar. Just scraping the sides of the bowl using a spatula. And now to this we are going to add the remaining 1 cup of icing sugar and just mix it with the spatula at first before you beat it, because it just helps you to avoid the mess it creates when the icing sugar just splatters all around. So when you mix it with the spatula and then beat it, you can avoid that and beat it until you get a very soft and creamy mixture. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes should be enough. And now I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 or 2 teaspoons of milk. Adding milk is to give this buttercream a spreadable consistency, so just add accordingly. Maybe 1 or 2 teaspoons should be enough. Since I was making only half of it, I added 1 teaspoon of milk and few drops of vanilla extract. So our buttercream is ready. See how soft and creamy that is. Now keep this aside. Now let's move on to the part where we'll be rolling the buns and then frying it in oil. See, the dough has risen well. Just punch it down and just cut it into equal parts. So with this quantity, you get about 8 small buns. Now slightly dust the work surface with some flour and then roll them into round smooth balls and just flatten on the top slightly and transfer it to a greased tray or a tray lined with foil or butter paper so that it doesn't get stuck to the tray, and we are going to set that aside for another 30 minutes. So just roll all of the 8 balls the same way and just flatten on the top slightly. Since I was using a silicone sheet, I'm not using any flour while rolling, but when you are doing it on your counter space, please remember to dust with flour. See, these are the 8 buns. And now I'm going to brush them lightly with some milk. This is optional. If you can skip this if you do not want to. I just like to brush them with some milk so that it's not dry, and then cover it and set aside for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then after that we'll be frying them in the oil. So after 30 minutes, heat a pan and add enough oil to fry the buns and allow the oil to be really hot. Once it's really hot, reduce the flame to low and then add the buns slowly to the pan. So do not, while you're adding the buns, do not keep the flame in high, because then what happens is only the outer part of the buns get browned quickly and the inside will not be cooked well. So make sure before you add the buns, reduce the flame to low and then cook the buns until they turn golden on both sides. See, now it's cooked well, and now I'm going to transfer them to a plate lined with paper towel so that the oil is drained from the buns. Fry the remaining 4 buns as well. Just be careful when you drop the buns into the oil, because the oil is very hot. So just be careful and cook them until they turn golden on all sides. Remember to flip it once when one side turns golden. Make sure you have enough oil so that it's well immersed in the oil while you're frying them. See? So our 8 buns have been fried well in the oil. I'm going to transfer this to a plate. Switch off the flame and transfer these to the plate lined with paper towel. And now we are going to cover these buns with a clean kitchen cloth so that they retain the steam and stay soft for 5 to 10 minutes. See, after 5-10 minutes, see how soft these buns are, and make sure that they are cooled completely before you fill them with the buttercream. So once the buns are cooled completely, we're going to slit these buns and then fill them with the smooth buttercream which we prepared earlier. See, I'm not cutting them completely into 2 halves. I'm just slitting them almost towards the end and then just filling them with the cream. If you want, you can just cut them into 2 halves and then spread the cream on both the halves and just close it. So spread the cream generously, do not skimp on that, because the filling inside makes these buns more tasty and so tempting. Just wipe out the extra cream which is just oozing out. Oh my god, that's so tempting. And now just repeat the same with the rest of the buns. Also, instead of buttercream, you can fill them with whipped cream as well. But the bakeries in Kerala usually fill them with buttercream, so I just use the buttercream, and it's very easy to make the buttercream. So you can just fill them with buttercream, which is more tastier than the whipped cream, I should say that. And since we are just frying these buns, for those who do not have an oven, also can easily make these cream buns at home. See, as you can see, one of the bun is missing. That's because my son couldn't resist it and he had the 8th cream bun. See how tempting that is. So that's it. Our soft, creamy, tasty, mouth-watering cream buns are ready to eat. They are very simple to make. You can even dust them with some icing sugar if you like, and just enjoy them at your home with a cup of tea or coffee. And they're very simple to make, so please try these at home and let me know your feedback. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. See you all soon with more good recipes. Until then, goodbye.